Hello, everybody. This is Cody Constantine. Thanks for tuning in. If you hear the music in the background, it's because I'm playing Total War Three Kingdoms, so it's a pretty good game. But, anyways, my first time ever uploading a video on YouTube, so I thought I'd kind of throw my hat in the ring. It's my opinion that YouTube's going to be the next thing to cable, but that's my opinion. So, think of this kind of channel as mostly a vlog of sorts. I'm mostly probably going to be talking about anime, or I'm trying to avoid talking about politics for obvious reasons. But I might discuss some theories that I have in particular genres that I'm interested in. So, the one in particular, like I mentioned, is Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, in my opinion, is the greatest anime ever. And I'm going to convince you solely based on my opinion. But I would like to point out that it has become the number one anime, within a very short amount of time. It was released late in the year, sure as when Hero Academia was coming out, and also when Love is War came out, and Shield Hero. So it kind of tells me that the illustrators knew that this was going to have a huge impact. And not to mention, I think I actually saw a couple tweets mentioning about how excited they were that that something like this was coming out. So, but Demon Slayer, in my opinion, as I said, is one of the best animes ever created. Ufotable really did an amazing job working it out, and I feel that every scene that they put into it is absolutely dripping with emotion and drama and action and effect. It just cuts to the core of the viewer, or at least I think anybody who's paying attention. It cuts to the view. I've watched anime ever since I was in junior high school when I started with Naruto. Believe it! And my god, after watching Demon Slayer, it has shown me, in my opinion, that we've all been deceived. that that we've been cheated, frankly. Because when you look at Demon Slayer and you look at the product that Ufotable has put out, doesn't it make you feel just a little bit cheated? That it's like, wow, you had gold like this whole time. You do know what you're doing. People, I mean, not everybody hates flashbacks, but me personally, I absolutely loathe them. Yeah, sure, it's cool, to kind of know the backstory, but a lot of times it's just lazy writing, and it. We, the viewers, we know it. We just see the like they're coming up on a boss, and it's like, oh, how are they going to defeat them? Oh, well, it's this long drawn out story that that was so important. I'm just telling you now. It's only through this comatose state that I'm thinking about it, and this is what's going to make me triumph. And sometimes it can be a good effect, but for the most part, no, it's not. It's really not. It's Demon Slayer is a little guilty, but it flows so well. The only time I can say that there was some heavy plot armor, or a little bit of plot armor, I should say, was the fight Tanjiro versus Rui, but I'll talk about that later. I mostly want to discuss about from the first episode. So, when we have the first episode, Tanjiro, whose father had just passed, and he's assuming the role of being, the man of the house, or he's assuming of being a positive male role model. For he's not only there to help his mother, but he's also there to be strong for his younger brothers and his siblings. So by working hard and, working in the mine. So he acts very much in a father-like figure. And he goes out, sells all the coal that he needs because he says he wants the kids to eat better. Excuse me. And once he gives himself a lot of shame because he was sleeping with somebody who he knew. I can't remember his name. And it's a neighbor though that lives at the base of the mountain, and the neighbor tells him about how demons exist and that yes, demons will come into your house and they will kill you and eat you. And Tanjiro swears that the next day when he sees his family, he'll take his brothers and sisters down and they'll stay with him and they'll let him know that he's safe and that he doesn't need to do that, or he doesn't need to worry about the demons. Little does, unfortunately, Tanjiro the next morning stumbles across the very bloody scene of his sister protecting their youngest sibling, and to where he then horrifically stumbles into the house where he sees his family slaughtered, blood everywhere. The amount of loss just exuded upon from that scene, and sadly, all of them really are dead except one, who's Nezuko, who is the eldest sister, and her body is the only one that's warm, so he struggles to take her down the mountain as fast as he can, even though it takes up most of the day to get there. Stunningly, though, he finds out that his sister is infected, or actually, he doesn't even know that she's infected. She just it turns out she's infected. She grows fangs and she grows aggressive and she tries to attack him. And upon her trying to attack him, some whatever part of humanity that was within her is reached out, and she's found herself crying over Tanjiro as she's trying to kill him. And in the background, we see the footsteps of a demon slayer, one of the highest demon slayer, which we find out later, who tries to cut off Nezuko's head. And Tanjiro, who puts himself in harm's way to protect her, saves her. And the demon slayer in question, his name is Giyu. Giyu manages to snatch Nezuko from Tanjiro without any trouble. And Tanjiro is begging and begging, pleading that Giyu does not take away the last bit of his family that he has left. And Giyu says to him, only the strong have power, and the weak must submit to it. And he says to him, why didn't you use your hatchet on me? Why did you turn your back to me? It's those kind of errors that made you lose your sister. And if we put some forethought into this, into some of the lessons later, Giyu is trying to tell Tanjiro what he's asking for. That he's going to not only have to protect himself, but he also has to protect his sister. And he's going to have to sacrifice himself to protect his sister. And that lesson trails on later in the series. So Tanjiro, as Giyu is about to kill his sister, takes action and grabs a rock, throws it at Giyu, and tactfully maneuvers to throw his axe when, as he's running around a tree, to throw his axe and have it topple towards Giyu in a way that where it was Giyu didn't see him throw the axe. He tossed it over his head as he threw a rock at him, giving him the distraction, and used himself as a decoy. So that way, as he ran towards Giyu, pretending that he had a weapon behind him, and Giyu says, "Fool," as he bashes him to the ground. And Nezuko stares in stunned silence. And Giyu wonders, where's his axe? As he can hear the whirling of the axe in the air, and he looks up to find it heading straight for his head. Luckily, Giyu manages to tilt his head enough to dodge as the axe strikes the tree behind him. Giyu at that point acknowledges Tanjiro's efforts and believes, or actually before he has time to even acknowledge his efforts, rather, Nezuko spins like out of control and kicks Giyu away and then dives for her brother, which Giyu immediately assumes she's going to eat him. She just turned into the demon. She's hungry. She's thirsting for blood. She's animal-like. But she doesn't do that. She turns and she faces Giyu and protects her brother. This was a feat that Giyu had never seen before in his years of being a demon slayer. Nezuko attacks Giyu next, and upon which Giyu is battling within himself of what is he to do. You know, he said he had a story of something similar that happened, but his sibling actually ended up eating the other. Giyu decides to take a chance and not kill Nezuko. He knocks her out. Guess you can do that to demons. And he puts a muzzle on her. And he tells Tanjiro just a bit of advice. Don't let her go in the sun. And don't let her eat people. And go to the mountain. He tells him to go to the mountain and find Mr. Urukadaki and tell him that Giyu Tomioka sent you. One fact I would like to point out that they did in the show, and it's not uncommon in the show, was when he went back and he buried his family. He stood there, he buried his family, he prays, and you can see the cold burns on his hands from digging. And Tanjiro then grabs his sister's hands and he walks away towards Urukadaki's mountain, where he very sorrowfully looks back at his family's graves one last time, and then he looks forward, embarking upon a new path. This is not an uncommon scene within anime, but it is one that strikes at the heart very soon and very dramatically. Anime is known for doing that. And there was another anime channel, I can't remember his name. He's a very prominent one. It's not Nuxtaku. You should check him out too sometime, but you could also check out... I can't remember his name. I'll have to go ahead and look it up later. But I believe he's in the UK. So, but he brilliantly expresses about how when he saw Demon Slayer at first, about how he said it was just kind of like a run-of-the-mill anime and he wasn't expecting it to ever get this good. But it really is that good. And so, but that's my thoughts. Feel free to go ahead and let your comments known or let your ideas known in the comments below. I plan to make this a channel where I want to do this for each episode, and then obviously when the movie comes out in October, I will check that out and give my commentary on that, and also the episodes. As this channel also progresses, I also intend to actually have a reaction. I've already seen the series, so obviously I think it's a little redundant to go ahead and put those within the video now. So I'll just kind of give a feedback on certain lessons and things that I thought were important within the show. So anyways, everybody, Godspeed. Catch you next time. Cody Constantine out.